the first regulation length round of the Challenge Series World Championship, so to speak. And of course, we have to have Fuji in here. Very, very hazy afternoon at Fuji, for that matter. You almost can't.
Behold, there's a mountain in there somewhere.
I was gonna say, you almost can't even see Mount Fuji. It's so hazy in that direction. But it's not hazy in this direction, probably because the sun's not over there, Ranker. That is how that works. Just before I forget how weather works, let's just go to the grid. And we're away from Fuji, something all-wheel drive advantage. Stephanie Kaiser, because I forgot, yeah, Lamborghinis aren't the only four-wheel drive cars, they're just the majority of them. The 992s, driven by Kaiser and by Emmy back there, are also all-wheel drive.
Yeah, that is definitely a crucial thing for those cars coming off the line here.
Probably the biggest advantage they have, because they don't have the horsepower of the Lamborghinis, and they're not very light, which is the advantage you normally have from a Porsche, is that they're really lightweight. Which is an advantage enjoyed by Ruby Kurosawa, who is this race's POV car home track driver, so to speak, even with multiple Japanese drivers on the grid. Ruby definitely lives the closest to Mount Fuji among them.
Ooh, I think we saw a little contact between the Tokyo winner and the most expensive car on the grid, the McLaren F1.
No damage, somehow, so it must not have been very much contact. No damage anywhere on the grid. Again, these cars are just made of sterner shit this week, or this championship, really, because it's gonna be more than 1 week. It's over the course of 3. As was one of the other benefits to accelerating the end of the season, was having more weeks towards the end of the year to run this championship, as well as the final challenge that'll be immediately after it. Yeah, they were seeing the disadvantage of these Porsches. Ruby has the least horsepower on the grid, which makes it a wonder that this is also the track that she qualified in at, but that downside really rears its ugly head when you drive in a straight line for, I think, over a mile on the front stretch of Fuji. And there's the advantage of it, and demonstrate both the duality of the the roof, in the span of a half a lap, not even.
Ooh, contact a little bit there on exit with the 14T. Once again, no damage. It's almost as if the universe has said damage is not a thing.
I reject your physics and substitute my own. Not much changing near the front. I think the biggest change would probably be, I think Eric lost a spot to Nilu at some point, and then obviously Stephanie taking the lead from the front row. I think one of the glasses moved up. I don't think she started in the top 8.
And now all that benefit Ruby's gains through the twisties is about to become null and void.
And then Thrasher is behind her with the second least horsepower. Only actually going to lose 1 spot by the looks of it. And that's just going to be to Brian Ice. Everybody else, I think, was actually hung up on Thrasher, and we couldn't hunt down the next, the other weakest link, so to speak.
Hey, look at those two good-looking guys battling for 13th.
Yeah, the admins of this race did not get good starting grid spots, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Wayne Hansen is advancing his position. I don't think the Murcielagos were super perfectly well built for endurance races, but in a sprint, or really just any regulation race, Isabel's gonna inch past.
Ooh! Oh, contact! Both in the grass.
You mow the lawn! You mow the lawn! You mow the lawn! You're not gonna play nice. She's not gonna either. Two-way street, but Isabelle will get her elbows out, and she's gonna take the lead back that she had only on the starting grid. Let's see if the GT has enough straight line speed to stay there. Which I think it should. Actually, yeah, Stephanie is the one who's going to be sweating because the 296 behind her has even more speed.
I mean, have you seen how big that boat is Stephanie's driving? That thing punches a huge hole in the air.
Yeah, and then the 296 is basically the modern wedge-shaped supercar, so Nilu's going to get ahead. Meanwhile, Wayne Hansen is going to try and battle Eric through turn 3.
Mid-engine versus front engine. Lamborghini versus Ferrari.
Yeah, and those two manufacturers are pretty much the story of the championship, since Ferrari and Lamborghini make up over a third of the grid. That is an ambitious attempt, Hansen. Not that I'd expect much else.
But it's gonna pay off if he's gonna get to... Oh, wait!
No, he had huge understeer there at the little, like, kinks. Those aren't even, like, corners you think about much normally, but just the speed of these cars. Ruby has found her way in the top half of the field. And gets another spot after Riza's inability to command that land yacht through the slow section. Another pass on Hansen, gonna also get Eric on exit. Jeez, well, she certainly knows where her strengths are in this car.
And straight away.
And prepare to die. Although, actually, these two didn't really get very good runs, so I don't think Eric will be a threat. Hansen might be, though.
Go 6.
But not able to do anything under brakes, so Ruby is not going to lose any places on that straightaway, which means that all of a sudden, she's in a decent spot to contend for the lead, because she's going to probably gain even more time from here on.
Now we got Porsche versus Temu Porsche, and the Temu Porsche is going to absolutely bitch slap Stephanie. Oh!
Isabelle, too late on the brakes. Basically 3 places in one sector. We'll see if Ruby can hang on to that. She'll be fine on the braking zone. Isabelle does not make any attempts right there. Actually, no. She's busy fighting Nilu. Gonna get her elbows out again. Isabelle is fighting for every inch through these hairpins. Ruby's able to just drive away. I think that's probably going to be a safe distance by the time we get onto the front stretch. Kaiser fights back ahead of the 3 car. It's probably about let's say a second and a half over Isabelle. That's not Isabelle, that is. And this just really visualizes the speed difference between these cars. Isabelle wasn't even the fastest we've seen today. Ruby tries to return fire, but is not able to get it done on the brakes. Nilu's once again going to overtake Stephanie Kaiser, and Wayne Hansen follows the Ferrari through. So Kaiser has been absolutely mugged on this lap, and her next threat is just going to be somebody in the same model of car as her.
And that's going to be an interesting battle, in my opinion, because you have the Porsche factory driver, someone who probably knows every single part of that car's ability, versus the Racing Bulls and Demon Sports mechanic, who literally built every single car and knows that car inside and out as well.
Yeah, Stephanie doesn't actually know how to build a Porsche. She doesn't even know how to work on one. She has a dedicated mechanic for that.
Ooh. Here we go. Kaiser and Angelos duking it out.
These hairpins are basically designed to create this close quarters, door-to-door racing, because it's, you know, right, left, right. Reminds me of the hairpins in Circuit of the Americas. They'll kind of do that too. The only good part of that track, if you ask me.
Hey, there's the braking zone at the end of the very long straightaway.
That's the
Speaking of
hairpin.
braking zone,
What the fuck?
is a kilometer as they were almost 4 abreast.
Nilu's gonna move from third to first in the 3-car. Ruby's gonna try and at least get back by Isabel and shoots the long way around at 3 to do that.
Yulu's gonna block that inside, but here comes the bootleg Porsche around the outside.
It might be the slowest, but it's also the second lightest car here. And it makes a lot of downforce. So,
The one plus side of having no power is you have all the grip.
yeah, Ruby's just able to just absolutely ship it through 270R. And has decent traction through these hairpins, despite being, you know, in the top category. It's something that not many cars in this class enjoy because of the horsepower we're all running.
Here we go, the final time, climbing up the hill. Yulu's got to try to close that gap if he wants any shot on the straightaway. Final corner.
I think that's safe. I think we got another hometown winner here. I don't think it'd be safe if it was the run to turn 1, but it's only the run to the finish line.
If we use the same line we start the race
Ah!
at,
Never mind, that was a lot closer than I thought. That's gonna be Ruby by half a car.
yeah, if they didn't force us to use the F1 timing line, instead actually completes 7 full laps, Nilu gets it.
Instead, Ruby, I believe the official margin of victory was about 4/10. There's the transponder, it's in the middle of the car. I think in most cases we've moved it to where the driver sits. But, yeah. About 4/100ths, not 4/10, 4/100ths of a second between these two cars. And, yeah, that... Just a kind of typical Fuji finish, honest to God. Thrasher... Yikes. That F50 is showing its weaknesses right there. Holy cow. Everybody else in the field is in a giant train, slinking all the way back from 1st to 19th.
Is that F50 the oldest car in this championship?
It might be. I know
I
it's
think
certainly...
the F1 is up there with it.
Oh yeah, no, the F1 is a year older, 94 versus 95. Some might argue the RT10 Noir drives might also be older. But also the McLaren F1 is the McLaren F1. It has a lot more horsepower. The F50 might be the lightest car here overall.
Which means it has...
It has the second least horsepower. It has slightly less than Ruby, but it doesn't make this nearly as much downforce because Thrasher doesn't run an aero kit on his.
Well...
But that aero is probably the difference maker, because that just means Thrasher's car doesn't have any strengths. Being lightweight doesn't help you. There's no power to carry it forwards and no downforce to carry it through a turn. Where's my voice going? But Ruby wins round 2. Will stay in Japan for the 3rd round, the last round in Asia for the World Championship. We move even further west. In Japan, anyway, the Challenge Series World Championship is basically going to travel directly west from Tokyo all the way to our not season finale. No, because that's what the final challenge is for. But the championship finale will be all the way out west at Interlagos. Second championship in a row that has ended there. But I mean, it works. It's F1 did that for how many years?
It's that Glock.
Don't be fooled by the pre-race preview here. It was actually very, very rainy at the green flag. And the rain slowed down and eventually stopped by the time that they finished the race. We are away, and I told you it was raining. Also, have fun if you're like me and you've got a fucking astigmatism, because, yeah, I can't see shit. Elu's gonna try and inch ahead of Eric, and she's got curves in that thing, so no tire wear to worry about. She can just kind of deploy that on these corner exits. Ruby's gonna try and sneak her way. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I don't envy existing in the middle of the pack of spray. I say that like I wasn't in the middle of the pack when I was in the race myself, but you know.
Defending here, especially in high-speed cars, is actually very easy through this first and second sector.
You just sit on the inside.
I think I might have to switch to you later from a old race. Where yours truly just parked the bus.
There's three wide at the hairpin. The fuck? And Curtis backs out of whatever was going on there. Isabel's the Focus car, starting dead last. It's also, if I remember correctly, the points leader out of race 2, but I didn't really spend much time dwelling on that because we were only done with 2 races.
Around the outside of Thrasher, Anne's probably going to get you as well for the 2-for-1 special. Not quite, and... Ooh.
Well, when she nudges me out of the way... Again, elbows out was certainly her modus operandi. Also, no, I was completely wrong. She was not the point leader. The points lead was a tie between Wanda Glass and Farah Ferdinand after 2 years.
Also, you and Isabel have an incident against each other earlier in the season, like very, very early in the season.
You see, some of us actually forgive grudges. I know that's like some kind of ungodly concept to you, but... Yeah, this is just entirely separate. This is just elbows out, as opposed to, blindly moving over and putting somebody in the grass. Jesus, that was a slide.
Yeah, if it was raining any harder, they would have had to display the red.
Yeah, luckily it has actually more or less stopped raining. It's kind of hard to tell for... No, never mind. I think, clearly it's not. What the? Huracan? I guess if you're gonna name yourself, you name your car after a fucking weather event, then it better be good in the rain. Dom DePrisco moves to the lead. He wasn't even, like, in the picture of the starting grid, I don't think. Isabel's already up to 4th, ahead of Ruby, maybe. And, also, yeah, once more, nobody has damage. 20th is still running in this train. I thought I saw damage on Stephanie's car, but I just think that was lighting. I suppose, like, really not that surprised. A lot of guys, if you're not Isabel, are taking things pretty fucking slowly. As, well, we all know the track will dry up later. It might still be raining a little bit right now. Actually, yeah, now it's stopped, actually. Dom still has the windshield wipers on because water's being kicked up, but there's no rain landing on the windshield.
There he goes. Oh.
Never mind. Okay, it's raining in some places, but not in others. So I didn't know this track was big enough to have that kind of effect. Yeah, it is still pouring in this area, but on the western... Jesus, Satoshi, missed that by a little bit. But on the western... Yeah, now as you travel further west along the circuit, the rain gets lighter in places. When you're running in that really slow section in Sector 3, I think it is. I call it the watering can. If you look on the left side of the track map, it literally looks like a watering can. It's done raining over there. It's also not actively falling here either. That is a weird fight. Isabelle has damage. I didn't even see her run into anything. Nilou, I guess she ran into Nilou, was not aware that this happened. Despite being on board with her.
Bumper to the back of the 3?
No, that's a brake check. Almost. Like, I know it's raining and everything, but... This is not a corner you take at 47. And this is definitely not a corner you take at... slower than that. This is a corner you take at 40.
Defensive driving.
Yeah. This isn't where Nilou had any cognizance of it, but that would definitely do damage. So we have the first damage of the championship, and it's because Nilou is taking sweeping lefts at hairpin speed.
Oh! I don't know if you just caught that, but there might have been a little bit of contact between Nilou and Isabelle. Right,
I don't think so.
Panel.
I don't think there was contact. I think that was just Isabelle getting sideways because... Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. I suppose you would know what contact looks like. You make it a lot more often.
Get out of my head now! I know a thing or two because I've done a thing or two allegedly. If
it was alleged, you wouldn't know. You self-reported, motherfucker.
Listen here.
Listening.
Isabelle's catching Dom DeFrisco.
No. No squirrels. No Dom DeFrisco squirrels, Logan.
Are you sure about that? Because it looks like we might be about to have a battle for the lead on our hands.
You say battle for the weed?
I could use some weed right about now.
Isabelle's trying to get higher on the leaderboard. But good luck trying to out-accelerate an all-wheel drive car. As now it's also nighttime. Oh, she did just about out-accelerate the all-wheel drive car. Now she has to out-brake it. And that one she will not do.
Crossover attack?
No, Dom parked the bus. Dom went to the U defense again. Got the run on the way out, though. Turns in on Isabelle. She's not taking that. Another.
I can't see anything.
Another elbows out move. We might have to just move to chase cam going on or going forward here. That doesn't really help. Now we just have the tail lights in our face instead of the headlights.
It's almost as bad as the NSX. That's the car that will flashbang you.
There are none in the championship where I would use it for a joke. You know, we don't do Japanese cars in this championship. I don't think there's a single fucking one that qualifies. No, there are no Japanese cars in this championship. Probably because we've got fucking 7 Italian cars and like 5 or 6 American ones.
And 1 Canadian car in Isabelle's Ford GT.
5.5 American cars, because I think it's 2 Vipers, 2 Corvettes, and then the 2 GTs that are driven by NFR. Speaking of Corvettes, that and one of the Italians, Isabelle's not getting away, probably down on pace because of the damage, but she's a little too committed to even care. Also, God, it's fucking dark. You didn't really process how dark it actually was in the race because you were locked in, but commentating now, you can't see a fucking thing. This is no ordinary darkness. This is a fucking dive bomb. You're gonna miss that turn, Dom. How did you get that stuff?
Are you sure about that? Oh, that's because it's dried up almost enough to, it's about the crossover point. If we had a couple more laps, I'd say somebody should come in and put some freshies on it.
Oh, he missed it that time, though. He got part of the wet track, and he was not prepared for it. Isabel barely squeezes back past.
Yep, and there's officially parts of the racing line that are, in fact, prepared for slick tires.
Not enough of it, though. Plus, I mean, obviously, even if the race wasn't a lap and a half away from being done, that's way too much of a risk to take. Because not all of it is, only parts of it are.
Big risk if you're up front, but if you're somebody in 20F like, Stephanie.
Surprisingly.
And Ruby, who, didn't she start on the front row?
She started on the second row.
Oh, it looks like Ruby had to hit some damage in there.
Maybe. I think a few cars did. I feel like it's probably... Nilu is probably leading the ones that did because of her brake testing Isabel. But, yeah, I guess if they had gotten that damage around this time of the race, they might have tried it, but they didn't. And now we're about to hit the final lap. The track's still not completely dry in most places, or even dry enough in most places, for that matter. So you might as well just deal with it. You'd rather have wet tires on a dry track. What? Oh, they hit each other.
Hairpin?
Yeah.
Really? Out of all the big shunts we have seen so far in this championship, that gives damage?
I have to question that one, Dom. You have damage. You're gonna pit at the end of the lap. Why are you trying to send that? So even though we're taking the white, those two go in for damage. Isabel completely ignores hers. Here's Wayne Hansen again. Fucking dark horse candidate, making his appearance in the final hour. Eric is gonna get mugged at turn 1 as he loses places to Hansen, Riza, and Wanda Glass in one go. Wanda has damage. She ran into the back of Riza in trying to do that. But now we're on the final lap and it doesn't matter. You just take home the fucking steering wheel. Bumper to the back of the 328. Wanda wants that place and she wants it now. It's my podium and I want it now.
J.G. Wentworth. God damn it.
Podium now. Gotta love the irony that the only car in the top 4 without damage is Wayne Hansen, the one who's... Never mind! Jesus! Bumper to the back of the 250! And Riza's gonna bump and run Wayne Hansen. That's not gonna have repercussions later, I'm sure.
I'll make popcorn!
He tries to send it to the next turn. Riza holds stout.
Get
and now we're... Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Also, I think the two guys that pitted on the last lap, come to the white flag, did in fact put slick tires on.
No. No.
Oh, damn.
Out of the last turn, you can barely see anything, but Isabel can see the checkered flag. She will win from this horror movie-ass Autopolis. You can only see fucking headlights. Like that looks terrifying almost in a way.
Like a fighter jet streaking through the sky.
That is either one of the coolest vibes in a picture, or that is fucking mortal terror because you can't make out what that building in the background actually is.
I mean, it's a V64 GT. It's probably a horror thing because it should have a V8.
I was going to say because it's Canadian.
That too, I suppose. We're gonna have to apologize to Brian Nice for that comment later.
Because he's obviously the only Canadian that matters. There are other Canadians, but are the other
Crazy!
Canadians in the room with us? No, the fuck they are not.